Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. I've created a video. I was busy somewhere, so today I'm going to create a video on row level security, which was a much awaited topic. So I will cover everything about row level security, from what is row level security to why to create it, why to use it. So let's get started. So first of all, let me tell you what is RLS. RLS is a full form for row level security, which is basically security for the row in the data, security of the data stored in the row in a database. So it is a fairly common concept in databases like PostgreSQL, Oracle database, Microsoft SQL servers, and all. So let me. So what is RLS? So RLS. So we will be concerned about PostgreSQL as it is an open source and much more available database and much more commonly used database. So PostgreSQL basically allows you to control access to the rows in a table to the user executing a query. So I would give you a small analogy. So let's say you want to go to a college, you have your admission there. So whenever you reach to the gate, your security guard will check your ID card if it is valid or not. If it is valid, then it will let you go inside. Otherwise, it will restrict you. So same way is RLS. So these are few policies that are applied on a table in a database that have few conditions. If you satisfy the condition, it will let you go in and do anything like select, update, insert, or delete. We will go into this in the stage. But if you do not have permission, it will give you an error, which basically binding the security layer to the database layer where the data is stored. So think of it something like, so what is so let me show you what is the common way instead of RLS, how the security and RBAC is applied, like role based access control is applied. So you have your server, like let's say this is your backend server written in any language. So what you will do is you will, whenever a user hits a request, you have the user ID. Basically, you have a user token from which you get the user ID, and then you will, like, on the resource that the user is trying. Let's say user is trying to access the cars table. So you have a cars table in a database, and user is trying to access this. So what you will do is you will add checks in your application. It will look something like this. If the permissions dot includes XYZ, then let him access, else throw error, else through. So this is a very common way to add user restrictions and all on a table. So this was binding to the server that you have written the code in. Let's say, but the data persists in the database layer, right? So the security should be at the database layer, which would be code agnostic. Like let's say tomorrow you revamp this server, you do not need to again write this condition in other language if you have written in the server in other language. Your database is already protected. So this is the basic concept of RLS. Sorry for the drawing, but I was trying to explain. This is the basic concept of RLS. So it is used to fine-grained access control in multi-tenant applications, ensuring data privacy and complying with data security policies. So this we will experiencing in a later stage. Just be with me. I will get all the ins and out of the RLS. It's very simple and people have made it very complex. I don't know why. So prerequisite of this video is like you should be knowing what is PostgreSQL or what is SQL in common, and what are roles and users in a database and tables in database. So I would be going using a Superbase instance. Like I have this Superbase instance, I have this schema, base schema. Inside this I have 5 tables. So in each table you can see RLS is on. So I'm using Superbase just to show you the Postgres example. Otherwise we can also do it using a local database. That would be a little more exhaustive. So let's do one thing. Let's try to create a table. Let's name it cars. Then first of all we will just disable the RLS policy. So it have ID created at and name. I won't be adding much sense to it. Like I won't be adding much columns to it. Remove the nullable tag and save the table. So our table is created. So as you can see, RLS is disabled currently. Let's try to insert a row in it. Let us give it a name of save. So we have a row inside our table which is cars. So at the same time, I've set up VS Code, and I have the setup of like login a user and then using that user session. So let me show you where this user is coming from. This user is basically in our Superbase instance. In authentication, you can go to user slash, and then you can just see like this is the user that is there currently. So I will now move back to the cars table, and then I have a setup for querying the cars table. This is the syntax. This is the Superbase instance. Let me name it so that it is better to understand. So what I'm doing is I'm just selecting from Superbase. If you do not know this syntax, this is nothing, just select star from users query, select star from cars query. If you want to know more about these, I have created a video on how to fetch, how to insert, how to update data using Superbase client. So I will just save it and move to the browser. This is it is saying S is not defined. I guess I have left S somewhere. Yeah, so where I need to rename it, save it, home again, and now you can see I will just refresh it once. You see we have a session and a access token with user ID and all. So that means our user have been logged in. Now we are also seeing the second console, which is the data that we have created. So select star from cars is giving us a row. So now what we'll do is we will turn on the RLS policy. Let's go to Chrome. Let's go to again here, click on it and enable RLS. Now let us try to just refresh. So see what happened is the row that was coming before, it is not coming now, as it is protected by row level security. Currently we don't have any policy. So let me tell you what a policy is. Basically a policy, you can think of it as an agreement. This is concept of RLS. Now so this is a policy. Let's end this. So let me again give you an analogy of college and the guard. So let's say you have taken admission and there is a guard at the gate of college. So you are trying to access the block which you do not have. Like the guard is given a few set of permissions. If this user is having access to this building, then allow him, else do not allow him. So your guard have a policies, like the rules that will apply to everyone. Now think of it as an agreement. If you have permission, then it is allow. If you do not have permission, it won't allow. So let's go to our Superbase. Let's try to create a policy. Now we will see this is the syntax for creating a policy. We will see this in coming videos. This is not a syntax video. So this is not a syntax video. This is just a basic understanding of RLS. So let us name it select for cars. Name the policy. And we are applying the policy for select, and we are authenticated. So our user have a role of authenticated in it. Then currently I'm just adding true. I will save the policy, and you see there is one policy. Now if we go and refresh, so now you see your data is coming as you have applied true to the policy, like we are allowing the access. Now what I will do is I will just edit this policy and add false to it. Now just see what happens. The policy is saved. Now when I refresh, I do not have any data. That means our RLS is working very fine. I will again make it true. So this is for select. Now what we'll do is we will try to insert, comment this out and out, and change this to Superbase. Whenever I save the and I refresh, so I got an error which says new row violates row level security policy for table cast, because we do not have any policy. Means the user which is trying to access or create the data in the database do not have policy. So what here is like the person who is going inside the college do not have an ID card, so the guard will just disallow the access to him. The same way, RLS is disallowing the access and throwing an error. So what we can do is we can create a policy for insert also. For now, I will just give it. So here we will be adding the condition for the permissions and all. Like let's say you have permission or the role concept in your application. Then if the user have role and permission, then you will give it. This will become something like select permissions dot from user permissions where user ID equal to take user ID from the session, and then you will just select exists, which will give true or false if it exists or not. So like we will doing all this the upcoming video of my multi-tenant architecture, which I have thought of it. So for now we will just for cars, for now we will just go on the basics. I have saved it, and now if I try to refresh, I got the data. Like this is the ID which is created in the table. So if you go there and just go to table editor, base, and then cars, you will see there are two more entries. So let me show you how to insert. Like this is the basic syntax of insert. What it will do is in the background it will run a SQL query like insert into table values dash dash dash, and then we'll just select the row that was inserted, move to browser and refresh this page. If I go here, I will see the few more records. This is being created. Let me try to insert something. Tesla Y. If I just save it and I go to the browser, we got the result with Tesla Y, and in our database we also have the row of it. If I just turn off the policy, it will, like again if I add false, it will not allow to insert. Same way update and delete work. So this is the basic concept of RLS. So if your user have a super user permission, like there is a super, so it will just basically bypass the RLS, meaning that let's say your college professor is visiting, so the guard won't be asking for a admit card or anything for the permission. It will just allow him to directly go to the college. So that's it for the video. It is just a basic video for RLS. I will be creating a comprehensive video for RLS for multi-tenancy. So how you can set up multi-tenancy, you can protect your database, how RLS work in real world. This was a theoretical explanation more of, and the next video is going to be a very much practical explanation, like practical about the RLS, how does it work, how does it work in industry, how database adds security, how it protects from unauthenticated access or access from the user that don't have permissions. So if you like the video, do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. We are very close to 40 subscribers.